Welcome to this special episode of Islamic History Uncovered, where we delve into the events that shaped the early Islamic world. Today, we're going to talk about one of the most pivotal battles in Islamic history, the Battle of Badr. Before we jump into the battle itself, let's set the stage by talking about the early days of Islam. Mecca at the time was a major center of trade and commerce in the Arabian Peninsula, and many of its citizens were wealthy merchants. The rise of Islam, with its message of equality and social justice, posed a threat to their interests and way of life. As a result, the Meccans began to persecute the Muslims and drive them out of the city. The Muslims' migration to Medina, known as the Hijra, marked the beginning of the Islamic calendar and the establishment of the first Muslim community. In Medina, the Prophet Muhammad established a new center for Islam and formed alliances with the local tribes. However, the Meccans continued to harass the Muslims and attempted to invade Medina on several occasions. The Battle of Badr was the first major military confrontation between the Muslims and the Meccans, and it came about after the Meccans attempted to intercept a trade caravan led by one of the Prophet's companions. The Prophet received divine revelation that this was an opportunity to deal a decisive blow to the Meccans, and he rallied a small army of 313 men to face the much larger Meccan force. The Battle of Badr took place on March 17, 624 CE in a valley near the city of Badr in western Arabia. The Meccan army was led by Abu Jahl, a prominent opponent of Islam, while the Muslim army was led by the Prophet Muhammad himself. The Muslim army consisted of 313 men, while the Meccan army was estimated to have numbered around 900 soldiers. Despite the odds against them, the Muslims were filled with confidence and a sense of purpose, having received a divine revelation promising victory. The battle began with both sides exchanging volleys of arrows, and then the armies charged at each other with swords and spears. The fighting was intense and hand-to-hand, with the fate of the battle hanging in the balance. However, the Muslims were able to outmaneuver the Meccans and catch them off guard. This, combined with the element of surprise and the Muslims' unity and devotion to their cause, helped to tip the scales in their favor. The Muslims were able to outmaneuver the Meccans during the Battle of Badr due to a combination of strategic planning and superior tactics. The Prophet Muhammad and his companions carefully planned their approach, taking into account the strengths and weaknesses of the Meccan army. They chose to position themselves on a hill overlooking the valley where the battle would take place, giving them an advantage in terms of visibility and height. They also chose to position their forces in a way that allowed them to use the terrain to their advantage, making it difficult for the Meccans to surround them. In addition to these tactical advantages, the Muslims were also able to catch the Meccans off guard by launching a surprise attack at a time when the Meccans were not expecting it. The Muslims' superior tactics also played a significant role in their victory. They were able to maintain tight formation and coordinate their movements, which allowed them to outflank the Meccans and take them by surprise. The Meccans, on the other hand, were disorganized and failed to coordinate their movements effectively, which made them more vulnerable to attack. The Muslims also had a well-trained and dedicated fighting force, with many of them being experienced warriors who had fought in earlier battles. This gave them an advantage in hand-to-hand combat, as they were able to employ effective battle strategies and outmaneuver their opponents. The Meccans were ultimately defeated, and many of their leaders, including Abu Jahl, were killed in the battle. The Muslim victory boosted their morale and solidified their place in Medina as a powerful force to be reckoned with. The aftermath of the Battle of Badr had significant impacts on both the Muslim community and the Meccans. One of the most notable effects was an increase in the confidence and morale of the Muslim community. The victory was seen as a validation of their faith and a demonstration of the power of their belief in Allah. This victory boosted the Muslims' sense of unity and purpose, and helped to establish the Prophet Muhammad as a powerful leader and military commander. In terms of the Meccans, the defeat at Badr marked a turning point in their relationship with the Muslims. The Meccans had previously underestimated the Muslim community and viewed him as a small and insignificant group. However, the defeat at Badr demonstrated the growing power of the Muslims, and the Meccans realized that they would need to take them seriously in the future. The Battle of Badr also had a significant impact on the spread of Islam. The victory helped to spread the message of Islam to the surrounding areas, as many people were impressed by the Muslims' bravery and determination in the face of overwhelming odds. The battle also sent a message to the Meccans and other opponents of Islam that attempts to eradicate the religion would not be successful, which helped to establish Islam as a powerful and growing force in Arabia. In terms of the Prophet Muhammad and his companions, the aftermath of Badr was a time of reflection and contemplation. The Prophet and his companions treated the captured Meccan soldiers with kindness and compassion, and many of them eventually converted to Islam. This demonstrated the Prophet's leadership and his commitment to the principles of justice and mercy, which helped to further endear him to his followers and solidify his status as a spiritual leader. Overall, the aftermath of the Battle of Badr was a time of significant change and growth for the Muslim community, and it marked a turning point in the early days of Islam. The victory had far-reaching impacts on the spread of the religion and the development of the Muslim community. The Battle of Badr is an important chapter in Islamic history, and its impact can still be felt today. It was a pivotal moment in the early days of Islam, solidifying the Muslims' place in Medina and establishing the Prophet's leadership as a military and spiritual figure. So, there you have it, a brief overview of the Battle of Badr. If you want to learn more about this fascinating period in Islamic history, be sure to check out our other videos and join us again for more Islamic History Uncovered. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more great content. Until next time, farewell.